And welcome everybody, it's Dan, hope you're well today. So, welcome to the podcast. I'm just double checking that we are actually live. And we're actually talking about what we're supposed to be talking about, and we are. So, hope you're well, not been live for a while. And we started off with full gusto this year. And then, boy, did we get really busy as a digital marketing agency. Goodness me, we've taken on a lot of clients, we've taken on a lot of new resource, new content coordinators, new copywriters, new graphic editors, new video editors, new website designers. I mean, it's going pretty busy for us, and that's really good. Obviously, we're very happy about that, and it has some extra challenges that we have to get over, you know, as people move around in the business and we expand the business, and keeping that uniqueness that kind of got us going in the first place. Obviously, that's challenging, and we're putting some things in place for that. So, for example, one of the things that we're putting in place is a business retreat in Spain. So if you're an existing client, you get to come on that. It's £1,250, but you get it for free, including hotel and meals and cocktails on the beach. So that's something we're really looking forward to. Anyway, in this session, I want to really talk about your revenue growth engine, because this is something that's coming through, and we see all the time on social media that people are not kind of getting this. They're not really understanding what they need to have in place. And so we wanted just to identify some of these things, and the other side of this is they have got some of these things and they're just not very good, or they don't convert. In fact, one of my conversations later on today is an in-depth look at sales conversion, because that's what it's about. You're here to convert clients from being a potential client to being a paid client. That's the whole purpose of business to some extent. Obviously, it's to provide the service that they're actually paying for, but you can't get to that point unless you've sold them in the first place. Nothing happens until a sale is made, I believe is the saying. And so that's really what I want to talk about in today's session. So your revenue growth engine should consist of 4 different areas. Obviously, there's a billion more different areas, like Snapchat or LinkedIn or iTunes or streaming. You know, we can deep dive into several of these, but really, from a top-down point of view, if you get these 4 things in place, you'll probably do okay as a business, and at least you'll survive. Apparently, we're in recession now, and I think we've been in recession for quite some time. If not financially, then emotionally. Obviously, for the last 2.5 years, it's been pretty horrendous out there, hasn't it? With Brexit, and then Ukraine, and then the pandemic, and all this stuff that we've had. You know, it's been really difficult for a lot of people out there. And so that's one of the reasons why we go live so often. It's really to help people along their journey so that they can hopefully find a way to make some additional cash. And that's really important, I think, and hopefully that's important for you as well. Anyway, let's talk about the first one. Ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn, YouTube ads, Google pay-per-click, ads in newspapers, ads on the side of a bus, ads on the side of a house, banner advertising, sponsoring your local football team. Let's talk about all of that stuff. And so some of this is online and it's digital, like Facebook, and some of this is offline, like leaflet drops, let's just say. We've run a lot of leaflet drops to very great success. We used to drop 50,000 leaflets a month when we had the lettings agency and we bought houses for cash. Done that to death, and that worked very well for us. And people go, oh, leaflet dropping, it doesn't work though, does it? Of course it does. Everything works if you do it enough. Well, I've cut my calories down and I've not lost any weight. Well, you haven't cut enough then, or you're not moving enough. Yeah, but Dan, I run 10 minutes every day. Well, run 20 minutes every day. Run an hour every day. Run 7 hours a day. But there's always a way to get the success that you want with whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so if you've only dropped 1,000 leaflets, I mean, for example, one of my coaching clients is dropping their own leaflets because I want them to experience what it's like to drop your own leaflets. It's a very unpleasant experience. And they dropped like 80. And I'm kind of chuckling to myself because I'm like, you ain't getting anything on 80 leaflets. I mean, you might get really lucky, but you ain't getting anything. More like 8,000 leaflets later, you might get a lead, you know? And so it really does come down to a numbers game. And then after you get through the numbers game, it comes down to experience. And you drop 8,000 leaflets, you're going to know what works and what doesn't. And you're going to work on the leaflet because you don't want to be spending another 8 days dropping another 1,000 a day to have a leaflet that doesn't convert. You're going to work on the conversion. And a leaflet, by the way, is the equivalent, an offline equivalent of a landing page. So you got to run the ads. Yeah, but I've run Facebook ads. Hang on, who's run Facebook ads? I've run Facebook ads. How much experience have you got on Facebook ads? Well, I did a weekend course. Right. That's not really going to help you, is it? If I do a weekend course on jiu-jitsu, do you think I'm going to become an expert in jiu-jitsu that weekend? Of course not. It's just not enough. It's not enough exposure to it. And so when you say, well, we've run ads, I'm like, okay, just drill down. Show me your ad. What sort of ad did you run? And then I look at the ad and I'm like, whoa, not surprised that didn't convert. Or, we took a full page advert out in the Times. Okay, how many leads did it generate? None. Okay, and what about the next time that you ran it? No, we only ran it once. Well, that's not going to work either. You've got to keep repeating this stuff again and again and again. And you've got to put your business in front of as many people as you can. Now, one of the things about running ads is that when you run an advert, it should go to people who already don't know who you are. Right, so we call that cold traffic in marketing speak. It's a cold lead, a cold website visitor. They ain't going to do anything. The only thing a cold lead or a cold piece of traffic is going to do is they might download something. They might join a workshop as long as it's free, but not a webinar, because what happens at the end of a webinar? Well, they're going to get sold to them. I don't want that. So you've got to give a lot of stuff away on ads. An advert is not there to sell, right? You might get lucky. You might have a product where you sell flasks. One of our clients engraves these. They're based in Australia. They engrave like Yeti flasks, really good quality stuff. So you might get lucky with a product like that that's a very transactional type of product, but most people don't sell those products, especially our clients. It's a very consultative sales operation, really. So you've got to run the ads again and again and again. You've got to run them because we're going to go out to cold traffic. So you've got to get the person to take the next easiest step. And the big mistake is people going, buy my stuff now, we're amazing. And people don't buy because people don't trust people anymore. And quite rightly so. It's so easy to lie about anything and everything these days in 2022. All our politicians are lying dreadfully. And it's so obvious. And everybody knows that they're lying. They don't even care because they just get away with it so often. So the next bit then, it moves you on to the social media side. And so this isn't ads. Your social media side should be going out to people who already know who you are. You might be even adding value to people who are already clients. One of the things that we've implemented in 2022 was adding more value to our existing clients. And one of the ways in which we did that, to great success might I add, is I got on a plane from here in Spain and went out and visited them. As one or two actually increased their spend with us significantly, and so that was very successful. And then also we were able to give advice to our existing clients. So although that was face to face, it wasn't social media, but you shouldn't discount the fact that you've already got existing clients that you can either upsell or repeat sale to, or increase the cost per average sale to. There's only 3 ways of increasing revenues, by the way, the triangle. More sales per customer, more income per customer, or more new customers. That's the only 3 ways of doing it. And social media and putting content out, which will build credibility, which will build knowledge and help you demonstrate your expertise in some way. All of that stuff is really going to help. But you have to remember that that stuff is for people who already know who you are. Right? You might get lucky and you might get the odd person who doesn't know who you are and they kind of just stop by and say hello. So like, for example, on this live stream, we get people who pop in and then pop off. They're on for 30 seconds. And, one of the things that we've really noticed is the more we go live, like if I go live 5 days a week, 4 weeks of a month, the more I do that, the more people come through and the more people sign up and the more visitors that we get and the more strategy sessions, sales calls we get. And that's because we're more visible and we're more credible and we're more consistent. And when we move away from that, we don't get as many. And so this is obviously from people who already know who we are, and sometimes from people who don't know who we are. But you also have to put a combination of different types of content out there. So like we use the archetypes, and here on my right screen, and I'm not going to show you, we'll actually do a full podcast on this, I think, because it's really important. But it's 12 different archetypes, and we create content around each archetype. So, for example, one of the archetypes might be a sage. So you might be a sage. You might be someone who just really welcomes a lot of knowledge. Or you might be a caregiver, and you're somebody who actually has a lot of empathy and needs empathy in order to purchase. Or you might be a jester. You might be the funny guy in the group, and you need humour. That's one of your buying mechanisms. Or you might be a hero stroke warrior, which I would put myself into, especially with all the CrossFit workouts that we do. And when I look back at how we've run businesses and how we play basketball and all that stuff, that turns out to be who I am. But if all I do is come out and be a warrior hero type person all the time, the caregivers aren't interested. They've gone off to somebody else who's got more empathy. And so you need all of this. You should be multifaceted in your approach when you're putting content out. You can't just be funny all the time. You can't just be knowledgeable all the time. I'm just looking at them now. You can't be an outlaw. You can't be a magician all the time. You can't be innocent all the time. Like, you have to have a combination of all of these, and that's one of the things that will work really well in your business. I'm just keeping an eye on time, by the way, because I'm on a call at past. So the next one then is landing pages. So with landing pages, if your landing pages aren't in a position where they can convert, all that traffic that you just sent to that landing page is basically for nothing. Like, you've got to have a landing page that gets the person to do the next best thing. Now, the landing page might be twofold. So you might have a landing page for purely cold traffic. People have come off an advert, download a free Facebook ads guide, and so on. And then the second type of landing page might be for people who already know who you are, already looking for someone to help them with whatever problem that they've got. And now they're just looking at who to use. And so you might want to use a specific landing page for that. Now, we usually have all this rolled into one. We have a free download, and then for those people that are ready to take the next step, it's a free 15-minute strategy session. And we get a lot of people taking us up on those. And our job really is to identify and diagnose what the problem is. And what have you done to solve that problem? Let's take a look at the adverts that you've run. Let's have a look at some of the content. And then we take a look and we go, okay, yeah, I understand why you're not converting. What landing page have you got? And then it's like, it's all in the wrong order. It all says the wrong thing. It talks about me, instead of you, as in the customer. And so this is why some of the landing pages don't convert. But when someone lands on the landing page, you got to make it easy for the person who doesn't know who you are to find out more about you in a very nice way. And the people who do know who you are, you've got to make it very easy for them to take the next simple step. And all our landing pages do that, and all your landing pages should do that as well. And then finally, we've got the follow-up. And the follow-up really consists of email marketing. It consists of looking at who has clicked what on an email and landed on what web page. So, for example, on our system that we use, we have it so that if you're on our database and you go on a web design page, it pops up on our website that's what you've done. And I can drop you an email going, hey Bob, I noticed you're on a website. You're looking for a website? Can we help? Do you want to jump on a call? That's following up. And then the other side of following up as well is running Facebook ads. Like, hey, I noticed you're on our website. Are you looking for a website design? Do you want to jump on a call? Like, all automated. We call that retargeting adverts. I'm just very aware of time, by the way, so we'll call it there. But those four things, that's what you need to get in place in your business. And I hope that's useful. We'll catch up with you on the next one. My name's Dan Latto. Have yourself a wicked day. Take care. I'm still here. Take care.